It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're on your Feel Good Breakfast show on S3. And my lovely, how can we feel good best? It is when we look after our health, okay? And one thing that plays a huge role in doing that is vaccines. They help us to not just make sure that we are actually 100% protected from all kinds of diseases, but it even helps us against disability in terms of those diseases that could cause that. And this, my friend, is why in Pharmacy Month, we are celebrating the fact that we truly get to, say what's up to our beautiful pharmacists who are helping us out with this. But we also want to highlight the great work that they are doing. And of course, it is always in partnership with the Adcock, Ingram, OTC sponsors of Brave. And today we get to chat to someone who is so knowledgeable about it. I'm talking about lecturer from Wits University. It is none other than Mohammed Vali. Let's give him a huge round of applause, everybody. Mohammed, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Sanil.
That's good. Mohammed, I want us to dive right into it because one thing that I know, some people are very iffy when it comes to vaccines about is, where to even get them sometimes. So I want to please ask you, are pharmacists sufficiently, equipped and trained to administer vaccines?
Yes, they are, actually. So what has happened is the Pharmacy Council has actually mandated training for pharmacists in order to allow them to vaccinate.
Okay.
And there are many service providers who actually provide this particular type of training. And as a result of that, those pharmacists who want to actually provide vaccination to patients can undergo this training and therefore be able to vaccinate.
Okay, so no backdoor vaccines here. We go to the pharmacy. That's where we go.
That's exactly it.
Yes. And this is why I want to ask you, please, why do pharmacists need additional training when it comes to vaccines?
So it's technically not additional training, right? It's just standardization training so that everybody who vaccinates patients can do so in a standardized manner.
Okay, so just that it's the same across the board, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. And especially because, like I said, sometimes people are a little bit apprehensive when it comes to vaccines. Knowing that even makes, I think, everybody feel better that we're all getting the same vaccines in the same way, right?
That's exactly it. It's a safety thing.
I love it. And can we talk a little bit about, a little bit of a true or false thing? Because, some people believe that there are some diseases or rather vaccines that contain the very disease that are designed to kind of protect us against that disease. Is that true or false?
And well, it's true, actually.
Okay.
Right? But from a certain perspective, right?
Okay.
So what happens is that there are a minority of vaccines that currently are made on the market that are called live attenuated vaccines.
Okay.
And those particular types of vaccines, actually, they do contain the virus or the bacteria. But generally, it's a weakened version of it. The majority of vaccines that we have available today obviously do not have the entire virus or bacteria in it. Instead, they contain just a small little portion to sort of trick your immune system into thinking that, you're getting sick. And therefore, for the next time when you actually do get the virus or bacteria, then your immune system is already prepared. It's kind of like having a security system,
Sure. You guys also, you have a lot of science behind you, Mohammed. Because for you to come up with something that seems like the virus, but isn't the virus or the disease that is, that's crazy.
Well, technically, it's more your immune system that is the amazing thing, right? Because it just recognizes a small little portion of the virus or the bacteria. And then moving forward, what it does actually is it says, okay, so that's what it looks like. The next time I see it, I'm going to attack it.
I love that. And of course, when we talk about vaccines, there's so many different things we can get vaccinated against. So can I ask you, what are some of those that maybe the public needs to know about? What can I get vaccinated against?
You specifically or the public in general?
The public in general.
Okay, well, in general, what I would generally suggest to patients is that go and talk to someone who has a idea of your medical history first, because that's a very important thing. To decide on which vaccines to actually take, you need to know what the patient's medical history is. Based on that, then you can move forward. Also, there's some vaccines you may need to take to travel abroad, for example. So then you might want to tell the person where you're going so that they can then help you make that decision.
Yes.
Ultimately, it's your decision, but we want to be able to advise you the best way we can.
100%. So to anybody who's sitting there now and going, would I really need to get vaccinated against certain things, such as let's say yellow fever? What do you say to them?
So then I would say to them that it depends where you're traveling in the world and whether or not it's a requirement.
Yes,
so yellow fever is a good example.
Okay. And in terms of you saying, you need to go and speak to someone in terms of who or what you can get vaccinated with, can I go to pharmacists and ask for their advice?
Yes, of course. And in fact, what they will do is they will actually give you more information about the vaccine as well. So if your concern is, for example, am I getting a particular virus or bacteria in my vaccine? You can ask them, is it a live attenuated vaccine? And they'll be able to tell you.
I love that. So Mohammed, essentially what you're saying here is that when it comes to vaccinations, our pharmacists, they know, they are actually equipped, they have all of the necessary skills and everything. We can trust them 100%.
You should always trust your pharmacist.
I love that. Beautiful. Well, Mohammed, thank you for joining us. And please continue doing the great work, like I said.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. It is, of course, Mohammed who's representing Wits University, one of their lecturers, but someone who is here today to help us, in fact, celebrate the fact that our pharmacists, they know the things that they should know, and they can, in fact, help us when it comes to those vaccines. And this is why I'm so glad that all of the teams coming together, and of course, most importantly, like I said to you, in partnership with Adcock, Ingram, OTC sponsors of Brave, doing the things that need to be done in making sure that we know what we need to know when it comes to vaccines. I am a huge fan of it. And as we continue to celebrate, Pharmacist Month, I think that this is exactly where we need to be in doing so right here, my Feel Good Breakfast Show family.
September is Pharmacy Month, in proud association with Adcock Ingram OTC sponsors of Brave, inspiring communities one pharmacy at a time.